Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML Division 4. We are here for round 3 of the championship. It's season 3 as we take in the Spanish Grand Prix from the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia. My name is James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream as your lead commentator, and joining me in the commentary box as always on a Friday night, it is Mr. Paco Suarez. Paco, how are you?
Really well, mate. I mean, really excited for the race today in my home country, Spain. So let's hope that it can provide a good show for spectators and the drivers, improve the standards shown last week.
Yeah, standards of driving I think really do need to improve from the first 2 weeks. In fact, as well, Australia wasn't that great. Bahrain was worse, I think, in terms of the driving standards, but hopefully we're going to see that improve here tonight. If you forgot to tune into Bahrain and didn't realise the result, well, Atlas Coppo won from Storm in second and Magnus in third. Two Ferraris filling out the top three in the top three. Don't know what I'm going on about. Atlas Coppo leading the championship on 48 points with Traxi in second, tied with Magnus on 39 points. Conti is in fourth on 35, then it's King in fifth on 30, Storm in sixth on 25, Sygate in seventh on 22, Khan in eighth, along with Jippy Storm on 18, Vapor Damon in 10th on 15 points. Looking down the rest of the field, Licala is in 11th on 14, then Luki in 12th on 13, tied with Florian. Neymar is in 14th on 12, tied with Braywich. Tekken and Pariah are tied for 16th on 11. Ray Pepper, who really had a good battle with Pariah for a full lap of Bahrain, he's in 18th on 10, and Alpha McMaverick on 7 points down at the back. Constructors as well, 87 points for Ferrari leading the way. Williams and AlphaTauri tied for second on 52 points. McLaren in fourth on 47. Racing Point in fifth on 32, tied with Red Bull. Alfa Romeo on 7th on 29. Mercedes in 8th on 28, and then Renault and Haas rounding off on 12 and 6 points respectively. And Paco, Atlas Coppo leading the championship. Two Ferraris, of course, within the championship fight early on. Atlas Coppo, though, 9 points clear coming into this. Can he repeat last week?
I mean, we have to remember to spectators that last week was quite a special situation, Unfortunately, there was a mistake ahead of him, and I mean, you have to be there to get the position. But I would say at the moment he's not the fastest, but if he keeps, all together and he's able to just be consistent, I think he could be a challenger for the title, and definitely today he could probably repeat, a podium situation like last week.
I totally see that, to be honest, and yeah, Atlas Coppo, as you say, has been one of the consistent drivers, I think, of the season so far. Obviously leading coming into this by 9 points, Traxi and Magnus chasing him down. But it's going to be fascinating to see how the likes of Conti and King and Storm, who are chasing him behind, will try and impact on the Spanish Grand Prix. One win for Atlas Coppo to his name as well as one podium. Looking at the constructors as well, Ferrari have got a stranglehold essentially at the top, like with Atlas Coppo leading and Magnus in tied for second. 87 points to their name. They're cleared by 35 points coming into tonight. Ferrari looking very strong early on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ferrari, and they showed it last week, didn't they? Like, they were all the race behind that Williams, and they didn't make any mistake until the end. And definitely, if we have to, bet for a team to win the constructors, probably it's Ferrari. Since Williams, we saw one of the Williams being able to take pole, I think it was, or at least take second in qualifying. It was pole, yeah. But then his teammate Lucky, or Lucky, depending on how you say it, wasn't able, to get that momentum. He was disqualified. He had to start at the back, and in the race he didn't do brilliantly. So I think Williams and Ferrari are the main rivals for the constructors, but definitely it's going to be a tight one.
It is going to be a tight one, definitely, I think, out on track, and we are now just transitioning into qualifying. Of course, 4.6 kilometres, I believe, separate this track. Yeah, 4.655 kilometres separate the 16 turns around this track, 33 laps in total in the race. C1, C2, C3 to you and me, that's the softs, mediums and the hards. C3 of course being the softs, C1 being the hards. And of course we're in we're technically in Barcelona, but this track is nowhere near Barcelona.
No, it's actually not. Quite, I would say, at the north of Catalonia. And it's surprising because in the end it has, everyone say Barcelona, when they should really call it Montmeló, But quite interesting, that it's not as close as it should be, if you know it as Barcelona. But yeah.
I think, with that Barcelona in its name, I think they've agreed a deal, obviously, with Barcelona Council, and that's why it's called the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, not Montmeló, as you say. Of course, that's the other iteration, really, of the track. But I can report there's beautiful blue skies and sunshine here for Formula One, and it's going to be fantastic to see. I'll be back in just a couple of seconds.
All right. Well, just a little detail that I wanted to add on, despite James is not here. Probably, the common denomination, for Barcelona, probably for money, because, if you see the Barcelona circuit, you know that it's for tourism and all that. But yeah, that was just a little side note. James is back, as I can hear.
I am back.
All right.
Apparently there is a white light on the box downstairs, and that might be relating to my internet, so I hope it's not going to go off. But that's part and parcel of home racing and home commentating at the end of the day. Neymar and Luki are the first two out on track, and we give you, of course, the track map to the right-hand side, and 16 turns, of course, as I say, waiting these drivers out on track. Neymar getting in a bit of weave into those tyres. Most of the guys currently going out on a set of soft compounded tyres, apart from Magnus, who I can see has selected a set of mediums. He's still in the pit lane currently. What are we expecting in terms of lap times around here? Because we've seen so far this week, I should say, 1:14 has really been the case. But pole position, I'm going to think about 1:15, possibly for Division 4.
Well, knowing that is Division 4, I would say 1:15, but probably 1:15 highs.
Yeah.
Those should be the time. And actually, I would be quite surprised, if we see that many people going on soft, because as far as I know, the ideal strategy on this track has always been medium hards. But I don't know if soft to hards would be possible, although probably the soft would be dead by the end of the stint.
Softs and hards, yeah, definitely possible. We're seeing Neymar now coming around the final corner to come across the line and start us on this lap. Beautiful run down towards turn 1. Beautiful camera angle as well, running down into towards turn 1. I haven't changed my cameras at all as we come down in towards turn 1. A long run, of course, from the start-finish line. As he now comes through turns 1, then 2, and then comes through the flat right-hander of turn 3. And now towards the end of the first sector, Neymar's first sector is a 21 flat, actually quicker than some of the guys we were seeing on their first laps last night in Division 1, so not too bad. Through the first sector from Neymar. Now it's the middle sector that really counts. Locks up going down in towards turn 6. Downhill approach there, of course, down in towards turn 6. And now uphill slightly through 7 and 8. And Neymar looking very good through there. Through 7 and then through 8. Of course, he's got another helmet, as you can see, just into his. And now into turn 9, he opens up the DRS once again and opens up to about 45% ERS at this point, 49.2 through the middle sector for Neymar. So now comes out of turn 10. The course will be reconfigured in 2021 if the Spanish Grand Prix, of course, is held. Now through Bank Sabadell at turn 12 and then downhill towards turn 13. And then the very tricky chicane at 14 and 15. Catch the inside curb or the outside curb here. You will end up spinning, as Neymar nearly proved that. Nearly the first commentator's curse of the season as Neymar comes across the line. 1:15.4 there or thereabouts, I think, in towards what I'm expecting. Luki goes 2/10 off him in second.
Faster than what we expected. We can see already in 15.2, so it's not going to be weird to see 1:14s probably.
Yeah, Khan going to the top of the standings there. Ryan and Alpha coming in with their lap times as well. Ryan about 300ths of a second off Luki. Traxy, has gone for a spin coming through turn 9 on the exit of turn 9. We caught that literally at the same point there. And he's obviously run out wide. I think what's been caused there, he's trying to correct the car. He's taken the offscape of the escape road around the outside where they use for the international layout around here, I think. And that's just caught him out, and he's obviously spun the car. Those rears look really shot at this point. If I was Traxy, I'd be coming in and putting on a fresh set of rubber.
Yeah, definitely. It's a common mistake, to lose it at the exit of that corner, even if, and even more if you touch the curb on the outside. So yeah, I wouldn't blame him for that mistake. It's common in the first laps. Let's hope that doesn't affect the confidence he has.
Championship leader Atlas Coppo going 9th with a 116.3. Disappointing so far from Atlas Coppo. Then we saw Damon go up into 6th position there as well with a 115.694. Roughly about 400th of a second off Lukey and only 8,000th of a second off Ryan just ahead of him. Magnus is on a lap time. Interesting to note, he has selected those set of mediums out on track. Currently joint second in the standings coming into tonight, and let's see what the Ferrari can do. Around the final corner, comes across line. It's a really good lap on a set of mediums. Yep. 115.4. He goes 600th of a second off Neymar. He can find, what, 8 tenths of a second around here. He could be in the mid 114s with that lap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really think that was a superb lap, and I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it for today. I mean, if he wants to start on mediums, he could perfectly do with that lap. As we can see, an Alfa Romeo from Freya Pepper in 5th position with a 115.6.
Interesting to note with that lap as well, we just caught the end of that, and he had no ERS coming across the line, so he can probably find maybe another 10th of a second just on the run up towards the line. With a 115.626, he goes 300s ahead of Lukey, now up into 5th position. Mac Maverick, we forgot to mention as well, he went 4th with a 115.5. There's not many drivers out there on the lap. Pariah is invalidated, as has King, and I don't think King was on his lap anyways, but Pariah now around the final corner. He's got no ERS at this point. He's got a set of mediums on, but he is going to troop back into the pit lane. Yeah, no surprise there, I think, from Pariah. He comes into the pit lane. King, who, of course, won in Australia for round 1, is invalidated, as you say, as he now comes around the final couple of corners, and I'm expecting him to come back into the pit lane as well. Yeah, comes back into the pit lane, and King back in. Azam has just started the lap.
Yeah, he just started on the soft, and right after we'll start Black Phoenix with the mediums in the Red Bull.
Right you are. 21.3 for the first sector for Zam as he comes through turn 4 and then down the hill and towards turn 5. Very tricky downhill braking zone, of course, in towards turn 5 and then towards the kink of 6 and then through turn 7. I think I've been calling this week that downhill section turn 6, and I don't know why I've been calling that, as now it comes through turn 9 and the Norwegian flies it through turn 9 and Zam now runs towards the end of the middle sector. Let's see what his middle sector is. 49.8, there or thereabouts in terms of the timings out on track. Of course, no task system here tonight to bring you with. I'm afraid to say. I know, you're a big fan of tasks these days. As now he comes out of turn 12 of Bank Sabadell, down towards 13. Really wrestling with the car, I've got to say, through the corners. He looks a bit unstable as he now comes through 14 and then through 15. And then runs wide as he now comes towards turn number 16. Khan, Neymar and Magnus, your top 3. And Zam puts himself into 9th with a 116.1. About 5 tenths of a second off Damon there, as Black Phoenix is on a lap as he's now coming through the end of the middle sector. 49.5 on a set of mediums.
Yeah, that's a really good sector, I have to say. As we can see, the game painted it purple, but definitely it's not. But it's still a really good lap with the mediums. Let's see how he ends it. This part really important to get the exit on the final corner. You can easily lose the car with the high curbs. And going through the last corner, let's see what he says. About to cross the finish line with a 115.6, and that's a really solid lap with the mediums, only 2 tenths behind Magnus. And I have to admit, look at that. We have, I think it's 6 drivers in the same 10th.
Massive moment there from the other Haas. Ryan had a moment coming out of turn 9. Maximus, I think that was on an outlap, who was actually joined OFR that I've just noticed, actually. So Maximus now is part of OFR, and OFR, of course, are represented by... Oh, I thought it was OWR. No, ignore me. Maximus now joining the new team in 17th, but made a mistake on his outlap. Ryan also made a mistake on his outlap, and he was 200s up, coming toward the end of the middle sector split before he ran into the gravel at turn 9, and now he's back into the pit lane as we've got drivers on a lap. Jibby Storm has just started one, Florian just starting one as well. Cygate
no, Jibby Storm just finished one.
The end of the first sector?
Yeah, he just finished his lap. He's 2,000ths of a second
Khan
behind Sham.
Khan goes to the top of the standings as well, 115 flat. Good lap from him. Alpha now coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Comes across the line. 116.666. Very interesting lap time there from Alpha, but he goes 15th with it.
I mean, I said it earlier, but I just want to take this second for spectators to appreciate the equality, you know, between the guy in P5, Friar Pepper, and the guy in P9. Look at that. I mean, in less than a tenth.
Less than a tenth indeed, and that's how close it can be around here in qualifying. Khan is still out on top. I think we've got Neymar coming towards the line as well. We'll see what he's going to do. Comes across the line. Doesn't improve, I don't think. So I get across the line, goes 10th with a 1:15.7. Improves by nearly 6/10 of a second there as well. I'm not sure if Neymar... Oh, Neymar's invalidated through the middle sector. So it's the other McLaren of Alpha who tried to get another lap in, I think.
I'm actually confused because Alpha is finishing the second sector right now.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know. I think we've missed something here.
Alpha is coming down towards turn 13, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not desynced. That's good. I think he's just been letting drivers through, maybe, out on track, as now Alpha pulls into the pit lane in his own time. In his own time.
What's happening?
There's the yellow flag in turn 8, and that is, I think, Atlas Cope. No, it's not. It is Frey Pepper, I think, that has spun out on track. Let's just go to that. Yeah, Frey Pepper.
Pyraya! And into the wall he went with the mediums.
Coming through turn 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's typical. I mean, you have that sort of bump, you know, that doesn't exist in real life, and he just lost it going through there. So, yeah, unfortunately for him, but he was on the medium, so, yeah, probably has time to go into the soft. Meanwhile, Atlas Copo, he's improving marginally on his medium tires. His first lap was not impressive. I think he did it on the soft. So, hopefully, this lap will be better with the mediums.
King's on a good lap, I think, here as well. He's got no ERS in this car, but he is coming around the final corner. Now deployed to that. This is a really good lap from King. If he can put it to the top end of the field, he will go second with a 1:15.2. Good lap there from King. Puts it in the mix as Atlas Copo now comes across the line. Only 11th on a set of medium compound tyres. I feel like he is dropping something back, possibly with that lap time, or holding something back, as Damon is at 2.2 seconds down, coming to the end of the middle sector split. But Atlas Copo 11th, but he's only 1,000th ahead of Damon, and now we have 6 drivers separated by about 700ths of seconds, separating from 7th down to 12th.
I mean, I have to say, I'm just amazed. Like, I didn't expect... I know some drivers are mediums, like Black Phoenix, Atlas Copo, and then we have Magnus, you know, that he's about to do his lap on the soft. As we can see, Pyraya retires from the session. Probably he knows that he doesn't have more to show, and he prefers to start at the back with an alternate strategy. But, yeah, that equality between drivers, you know, we've been talking about, it's just showing again and again. Hopefully... with the last attempts in the last few minutes of the session, this is going to be madness. So we'll have to pay attention carefully to everyone just to see what times they're doing.
From possible madness to Magnus, running down and towards turn 1. That's a really good cut in that, as he now comes through turn 2. And then towards turn 3, as we'll see what the Norwegian can do. He should be up in the first sector, you would imagine, because now Magnus comes to the end of the first sector. And yeah, he's 2/10 up already. Yeah. This is a good lap so far for Magnus. He runs wide coming out of turn 4. Now downhill and towards turn 5. I think that's a Williams just ahead of him out on track. No, it's an AlphaTauri, in fact, out on track. Braywich has joined in the session 5 minutes ago, left in qualifying. Corner out on top, King in second, Florian in third, Neymar fourth, and Magnus currently in fifth. But now Magnus coming up towards turn 9 has got that AlphaTauri ahead of him. That AlphaTauri is Cygate, I think, on an outlap. He'll get out of the way towards the end of the middle sector, and Magnus has 5/10 up, and he's really putting in a stonking lap here in Spain as he now comes through turn 11 and then through turn 12 at Bank Sabadell, now uphill and then rises downhill all the way pretty much from this point onwards down to the line as he now comes through 13. This very tricky chicane awaits through 14, then through 15. I think he's going to improve by about 8/10 of a second here. This is going to be a 1:14.7. Magnus across the line, 1:14.7, and that is a very rare occurrence, a time that I've actually got something right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, guys, the end of the world is near. Believe me when I say this.
Khan's on a lap time as well. He's going to be next across the line. He was 200 up coming at the end of the middle sector, but he can try and put this in the final sector. Let's see what the Racing Point can do out on track. He now comes round the final corner. Has he got any response to Magnus? I don't think he has.
14.
Across the line, and it's a 1:15 flat. He does improve by 600th of a second as Braywich has joined in the Renault as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to set a lap, but right now the one who is in the lap is the AlphaTauri from Cygate. He's currently sitting P13. As we can see, he almost loses the back end of the car. Let's see if he's improving right now in the second sector. He does, but marginally, so probably that's not going to change a lot. As we can see, Traxy going on pole with the 114.6. That was out of nowhere. He came out of the blue.
I was on board with him and didn't expect a good lap from him, but he puts it at the top of the standings. A 114.6 just comes to show that the commentator shouldn't be looking at his iPad instead of watching the action out on track. But Traxy takes current provisional pole and provisional 2 points going his way with back to second. Corner's in third. We have got Black Phoenix, I think, on a lap now on a set of mediums once again. Let's see what he can do as he now is coming down towards turn 5.
I have to say I'm quite surprised with Black Phoenix because, I mean, he has already done 2 or 3 laps in those mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see what strategy is he going to try. He loses the back end and he retires.
Oh, and he's out. Out the session. Yeah. Just a real moment coming out of turn 7 and 8, and that is such a difficult corner as well. If you lose the back end there, there's really no way you're going to save that. We saw it with Callboy in qualifying as well last night, and Black Phoenix certainly repeats that, and he's now down to 10th position, and he has to hope for minor miracle, I think, out on track in terms of laps. Traxy's coming through the middle sector. Braywich, I think, is on an out lap as opposed to a full lap here. He has got no ERS out on track. Yeah, Braywich is on an out lap here as he now comes through the end of the middle sector. But there's a Williams spun in the middle sector.
Oh yes, there is out of turn 6. Is that turn 6?
Yeah, Lukey going slow. I think he's letting everyone through. He's on an outlap, so not surprised. But Lukey is letting everyone through. Ryan is coming through the end of the middle sector. Maximus as well is just ahead of him out on track. So we'll go on board with Maximus as he has actually backed out this lap. So we'll go straight back onto his teammate as he now comes through the end of the middle sector. And Ryan, marginal. 400 up. Yeah, he's marginal improvement as he now comes through turns 10, 11. And then through Bank Sabadell at turn 12. This is the only real corner name that I know apart from Santander and the likes. And we don't want to make those out on track. But Rocco? That's tomorrow. Ryan ran the final couple of corners out on track as he now comes toward the line. He should improve, I think, in this final sector. Comes across the line. Yeah, 115.4. And that's the improvement. You find 2 tenths like that. Ryan moves up to 6th. Good lap.
Yeah, definitely. Good lap. I would suggest you to go on board right now with Mac Maverick. I think he's the first one, in the last attempt. And he's currently improving 2 tenths and a half in the first sector. So it seems like a pretty decent lap from the Red Bull driver. Let's see if he can keep that sort of momentum. As we can see, Maximus retires. He's done for today in qualifying. So, yeah.
I was through turn 3 where he crashed that out at, so he's obviously got caught on the inside curb. Ooh, and that's where he spun Mac Mavericks 4 tenths up. Yeah, coming through now the middle sector through turn 11 and then through turn 12. It's Traxy out on top, back to the second, Khan in third. Interesting to note as well, Traxy and Khan in the pit lane. They're not going to be getting another lap out of this session at all. Here comes Mac Maverick now around the final corner. I think that's Braywich just in front of him out on track as he now comes toward the line. Let's see what Mac Maverick can do. Braywich puts a 17.3, McMaverick 14.9 and moves up to third. Good lap from him. King is a 10th up through the first sector.
Yeah. No, I was about to say that Storm just improved 1/10. I was trying to follow everyone that was finishing a lap, but yeah, kind of impossible.
Frey Pepper is a 10th down coming out of the middle sector. There's a Williams coming around the final corner. That's Lukey. Is he going to put it up there with alongside his teammate? No, 115.2. He goes up into 5th position. Still a good lap though from him. Neymar, Ryan coming through the end of the final sector. Florian as well, but Neymar's the next up. Neymar running the final 2 corners. Through 15 and then through 16 as he now comes towards the line at 115.4.
What's out, King?
Is his current best. King just behind him out on track, and now King comes toward the line and he goes third with a 114.7. It's still not good enough. Magnus is a 10th up. He could try and steal Traxy's pole position right from the death here as now Magnus comes around the final 2 corners through 14, through 15 and then through turn 16. I think Magnus is going to be on pole. He now comes around the final corner 114.5. 114.3! Really good lap. He found a lot of time in that final sector. Magnus is out on top, but what is Florian doing? Florian's not doing anything. I think that's everyone done.
Oh,
yeah, everyone is done. But Magnus out on top, Traxi second, and King in third. And look at the gap that Magnus has got over Traxi. It's nearly 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite impressive. I mean, I'm speechless, completely speechless. But I have to say, and let's see if you agree with me, I have some sort of high expectations with Black Phoenix, Atlas Coppo, you know, those drivers that did laps on mediums, but were not able to complete, you know, their laps on soft. Because I think they're going to have a really good race.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, I think, to see. Of course, the bottom 11, essentially, or the bottom 10, I should say, out on track, all start on a fresh set of tyres. Top 10 don't, because they qualified on a set of softs. Magnus, though, out on top by 2 3/4 of a second. Really impressive. From Traxi in second, King in third, McMaverick fourth, Khan in fifth. Neymar in sixth with Lukey in seventh. And Lukey actually setting the same time. Yeah, Neymar sixth and seventh, Florian in eighth, Ryan in ninth, Ray Pepper running off the top 10. Then Azam, Black Phoenix, Atlas Coppo down at 13th, the championship leader. Damon in 14th, Sygate, Jibby Storm, Alpha, Maximus, Braywitch, and then Pariah, who didn't get a lap in because he retired in the pit lane. He's down in 20th position. Braywitch, of course, only getting one lap in as well in 19th.
Impressive qualifying, I have to say. And as I said, I have really high expectations on Black Phoenix and Atlas Coppo because Black Phoenix crashed in his second attempt. As we can see, there's dry weather, although it was kind of expected since some people went on mediums. And then we have Atlas Coppo that invalidated his lap. I don't know if he helped his teammate. I don't know if you could see any sort of help to Magnus. But he invalidated his lap, and I don't know if from there he helped his teammate with some sort of slipstream, whatever. But I think it's going to be a good comeback from there, behind in the grid. So yeah, kind of excited to see what they do in the race.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, I think, to see how this race is going to unfold. You can tell it is quite cloudy here in Spain, and we've had both races this season so far, or this week so far, that I've covered have been dry, Division 1 and Division 2. Division 5 looking ominously, Division 4 I should say, looking ominously overcast, but it might remain dry throughout the race. Hopefully we'll get that confirmation in the chat.
I just want to say some theory until they say no, it's not raining. But maybe if some people were trying to get in the top 10 on mediums, was it because they thought it was going to rain? Just asking.
Well, judging by Pariah's choice down at the bottom and judging by Jibby Storm and Alpha's choice as well, both of them on a set of soft compound tyres, Jibby Storm and Alpha. Pariah, though, was on a set of hards, which makes me imagine that it's going to turn dry towards the end of the race, like sunny conditions towards the end of the race. Of course, top 10 having to qualify on a set of soft compound of tyres, so that's Magnus all the way down to Frey Pepper. The rest of the field, as bar the three we mentioned, all on a set of medium compound of tyres. What, in terms of tyre wear, is it around here? Because we have Bullet Boy win the race in Division 1 on Tuesday with 93% worn front on the left tyre. Is it possible to try and get a one-stop around here?
I mean, it's possible, but no one says it's going to be easy. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if drivers are able to commit to it. But definitely, if I had to choose from drivers behind, I would do medium hards or hard mediums. That's my way to go, but yeah, drivers in the end are the ones that make their choice, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, I think, to see how this is all going to go on. Of course, welcome everyone to Division 4 if you are just tuning in at this point. There's predicted pit stop strategy for Magnus. Lap 6 to 8 to go onto a set of mediums, and then again onto a set of mediums 20 to 22. However, the hards normally tend to last around 4% a lap around here, so it's going to be fascinating. We saw Jorg last night as well. I didn't discount him at all until he spun. And he had, I think he was about 12% fresher than the likes of Matt Tibos right at the front of the field last night in Division 2. So it just comes to show, with a bit of a slow driving style, bit of a cautious driving style, you can get the tyres towards the end of the race. But I'll come to you, Paco, for your top 3. Who's going to win?
I think it's going to be Magnus on the win, Traxi second, and King... McMaverick, it's going to be third.
very interesting top 3 as we now see the final cars join up onto the grid. We're just waiting on the likes of Braywitch and Pariah to link now on at the back of the grid, and we're about to get going here for 33 laps of racing as they now come onto the final grid.
Quick top 3 before they start, really quick.
Magnus, Traxy, King, there we are, top 3 as they are. But 5 red lights are now going out here in Division 4 for round 3 of the championship, and it's lights out and away we go. Magnus gets a good start, Traxy gets a good start as well. King not too bad off the line, and King could actually get the run on both of them down in towards turn 1. Yeah, Traxy takes the lead, but look at King's result now going through the middle of them. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 1? No way at all. He has to cut across the sleeping policeman, and he'll have to give Traxy back the lead. A little bit of contact further down. King tries to rejoin just in front. There's also absolute carnage as the Williams has ran wide of Lukey. He's got damage, and there's a crash, and there's a VSC deployed, and that was with Zam, I think he picked up a penalty with. 5-second penalty as well for Damon with a collision with Sidegate. 3 penalties early on. Traxy leads, Neymar second, Khan in third, but one absolute disaster. VSC has already been deployed, and we're not even through the first half of the lap.
Yeah, definitely. What a chaos. I mean, look, I don't know what happened to him, but he just lost. I don't know if he lost it, but he sort of made contact and his front wing just went flying. I mean, if we wanted standards to improve, definitely this is not the way.
Yeah, honestly, I think with Traxy, or with Lukey, I should say, he ran wide. It's 4 wide. Running down in towards turn 10. Somebody's going to get pinched here, surely. It is Khan now round the outside of Mac Maverick, coming up the hill through turn 12. And Khan's actually got the move done on Mac Maverick. He's through and he's up into second. Good move there by Khan. Neymar's down to 4th. He's lost 2 positions, actually, off this start. So really sleeping as he comes through the first half of the lap. But we're now through lap 1, and it's Traxy who leads by 1.3 seconds out on track from Khan in second. Mac Maverick third, then Neymar 4th. Magnus across the line in 5th with Florian, Ryan, Black Phoenix, King, Jibby Storm, and then we lose a bit of track, to be honest, because I don't know who's fighting out for what position. We see on board with Ryan now on the back of Florian. This is for 6th position. Black Phoenix just in behind, and actually King is all over the back of Black Phoenix. He might come through turn 3. I think this is for 7th and 8th, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Zam into the pit lane as well, and here comes King. Is he going to try and go around the outside of turn 4? No way! By King around the outside of Black Phoenix. Yes, he's on a set of mediums, but now King is going to try and fight it on the inside line. He's still there. Can he get the move done? Don't think he can't. And Black Phoenix just about hangs on, but he's still there. And King just used a bit of overtake mode, and now he's got the move done. Now he gets it done, and that's really good driving from King, and he's up into 9th.
Yeah, but we have to remember that the Red Bull is currently on medium, so yeah, I mean, great move, but it was in a softer compound, which gives you more traction, as we can see yellow flags on sector 1. Yeah, Pariah.
Right side end plate.
Start for him.
Yeah, right side end plate damage for Pariah, so he's obviously spun, as he did pretty much in qualifying, when he obviously had to make it back into the pit lane. Or somebody spun there and crashed out at turn 8, but Traxy holding that advantage, 1.2 seconds, as now DRS will now be enabled out on track. Traxy sets the fastest lap, and Khan actually sets the fastest lap of the race. Don't trust it is now Magnus, fights with Neymar running down in towards turn 1, and this should be easy for Magnus. Yeah, he's going to get the move done quite easily, and Ryan on the back of Florian running down in towards turn 1. Can he get around the outside? I think he has. Ryan's through, surely. Florian around the outside, though. Florian fights back. Florian fights back, and then King's running back on the inside line as well. There's the yellow flag in sector 3. Pariah's ran through the final corner, and King is through on Ryan. Great stuff by King. He is through, and he's up into 7th.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Really good move by King. Oh, what's out?
Oh my god!
That was optimistic.
Shouldn't have tried that.
No, definitely not. I mean, he should be happy he was able to make the move on the Haas, but I think that was excessive optimism from the Haas, from the AlphaTauri driver there. So probably he has to be more patient.
He's really up for this though, is King. Is he going to dive it down the inside? You bet he will. Down the inside, and he's ran wide, and I think, yeah, switchback from Florian is just perfect, and Ryan now still on the back. But King is just being over-optimistic, I think, in these early stages. He's got to calm it down. Yeah, impatience, definitely the word, I think, for him. And it's not going to do his tyres that good as well, going forward within the race. Magnus is trying to get another move done now on Mac Maverick, who's now broken out of DRS range. And look at this. Magnus is absolutely sailing on by Mac Maverick. That is just Ferrari power at its raw best as he now runs down and towards turn 1. Magnus is through and he's up into third as King is now going to try and get the move done on Florian. Down the inside he goes. He had seen the opportunity. He waited. He got the move done. He's through and he's up into 6th.
I mean, definitely we can see King had a really bad start to the race, you know, going outside the track, and definitely he's frustrated. I mean, you can see it, you know, the impatience he shows in his moves, but he has to be calm. He knows he has the pace. He almost got the first position on the first corner. He just have, you know, to keep it constant. So let's hope he can get back to the race.
To be honest, though, I think with King, it was his own volition. It was his own mistake that made him run wide, coming across through turn 2 and then through turn 3. And unfortunately for King, he's now trying to play catch-up, and he's just excessively going over his tyres. He's also going over his ERS as well. 16% left on that ERS, as Traxi leads, Khan in 2nd, Magnus in 3rd, and there's penalties further down, of course, for Damon and Alpha, as Jibby Storm, Neymar's, Alpha's under pressure here, actually, from Atlas Copo, down the inside line. Can he get the move done into 13? No. Alpha stays 13th.
And watch out. Well, no, I actually thought Magnus was even closer to Can, but no, he's 7th behind.
Jibby Storm's on the back of Black Phoenix, though, and behind Alpha. Alpha is into the pit lane.
Yeah. Quite soon to do the stop.
Very soon to do the stop, but he goes on to a set of medium, so that is a committed 2-stop for Alpha, as Jibby Storm must have damage on that car. He's ran massively wide coming out of turn 3, and now Cygate and Vapor Damon are trying to chase him down as well. But you say about Khan and you say about Magnus as well, so now 6/10 the gap, so Magnus looking quicker. This is the mistake and behind, but Mac Maverick having a bit of a moment coming out of turn 6, and now comes through turn 7 and 8. It's Traxi who leads, Khan in 2nd, Magnus in 3rd. And the sun has just suddenly came out on track as Mac Maverick picks up a 3-second time penalty along with Alpha further down the field.
And I'm just going to make a side note. I hope nothing relevant happens. But I think Magnus, what he should do now, the soft runners are going to go 2-stop. I mean, it's evident. So what I would do in his position, if I was him, I would actually pit this lap. I would do the undercut on the 2 cars in front of him. But yeah, he's going to stay one more lap.
And that is why you're in the commentary box, my friend, and not out there out on track. And look what he's going to do. He's going to absolutely sail on by on Khan. He is through and he's up into 2nd position. Wait, be patient, and that is the order of the day here as Magnus is through as Neymar tries on Mac Maverick just in behind, but not close enough to try and get the move done. Magnus through and he's up into 2nd. You can see, actually, with Neymar's helmet as well, Spanish orientated, which I'm sure is going to bring my co-commentator very good indeed. As Braywich, I think, has just got around the outside of Maximus, in fact, coming through turn 1. Around the outside he went, and he's up into 13th.
Yeah, really good move by the Renault driver, which is making a solid comeback. Remember, he started from P19 due to he joined quali really late in the session. So, yeah, quite solid race from him.
Oh, Neymar running out wide, coming through turn 9. These are the traction on the back of Mac Maverick. Very late on the brake zone, catches back up into the braking zone of turn 10. The reconfigured, of course, turn 10. If you haven't seen a picture of it, go online and have a look at it, because it's more like a MotoGP track now rather than a Formula 1 track, I think it's fair to say. Use it for pre-season testing, man. Not Abu Dhabi or anything like that. Use it for pre-season testing. Simple as that. King now on the back of Neymar, catching, but on to lap 7, Traxi leads, Magnus 2nd, Khan in 3rd, Mac Maverick 4th, Neymar 5th. King run on board with in 6th. It's now Neymar tries to hunt down Mac Maverick. Is he going to go for a late lunge down in towards turn 1, or is he going to be ahead going in towards turn 1? It's the latter. Oh, and he pinches him down the inside.
He's squeezed.
Yeah, Neymar not leaving enough room there for Mac Maverick, I'm afraid. He had the outside line, albeit, but I think we saw that in Division 2 last night as well, with Yo getting cut up on the inside by Gary, I think it was, coming through turn 3, or one of the two on, as Damon now down the inside, trying to get the move done on Mac Maverick, but Mac Maverick holds firm and holds sway and still stays in 9th position out on track. But Neymar, gotta be honest, bit questionable, I think. He could have tried the move, but he could have gave more room. Simple.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was one of the drivers that last week was not at his finest, you know. Last week he was involved in some incidents, and I was expecting more of him this week.
Damon, sorry to cut in. Damon down the inside of Mac Maverick. Gets the move done through turn 10, forces Mac Maverick out wide. To be honest, that is not like the move that we saw through turn 1. Damon is through, down the inside, all committed. Mac Maverick gave him the room to do it, and he got the move done, and he's lost 2 positions, actually, Mac Maverick, now down into 11th. He will be annoyed, but that one, I'm afraid to say, was on his own volition, and he's now into the pit. Oh, I thought he was coming into the pit lane now, but he's not.
No, that's 3 drivers ahead of him. It's actually Neymar, Sygate, and Giverstorm. No, King. The other
Neymar on a set of mediums. Neymar on a set of mediums. Yeah, King on a set of mediums as well. And Jibby Storm goes on to a set of mediums as well. 25 laps on a set of hards. Can't make it around here, I'm just saying. But these guys obviously feel as Neymar weaves coming out the pit lane to try and get heat into the tyres. Oh, as we see Maximus round, coming through turn 3. Maximus cut corner half spin, coming through turn 3. And not fresh out the pit lane, and that is him now round, and he's going to rejoin track just in front of these guys. He recovers the car just about, and Neymar King, and he's going to let his teammate through as well. Best to let the teammate through there, otherwise it would have caused a whole heap of trouble for Maximus.
Yeah, definitely. Bad luck from him. And yeah, now I mean, when you have a mistake like that, to keep the motivation going through for the rest of the race, quite difficult. As we can see, Atlas Copo all over Mac Maverick. So he's going for the undercut.
He is.
On Truxy.
Don't blame him either. He was 2.4 seconds coming behind him into the pit lane. So Magnus now into the pits. And he puts on a set of hard compounded tyres as now Florian
until the end.
Is Pariah has spun coming through turn 2 as now Magnus is going to come out. I think he's going to come out well ahead of King, well ahead of Neymar as well. He's going to be in clear air, I think, Magnus here. As he comes out the pit lane, beautiful clear air. That's exactly what the doctor ordered as Magnus now comes out the pit lane in 8th position. He's got clear air to the front of him, clear ahead behind him. He can now push and try and go for this as King makes a move on Neymar and towards turn 1. Gets the move done, he's up into 9th. And that's for a net P4, I think.
Yeah, King right now being a smooth operator. And just asking myself if the McLaren could have a bit of damage. No, he doesn't, because it seemed like he was having issues, you know, to turn the car
Maximus has
enough.
Oh, again. Maximus has ran and he rejoins nearly in front of Maverick. Oh my goodness me.
Thanks God,
that's Frey Pepper. Yeah, that's Alpha trying to go around the outside of Frey Pepper in the meantime as well. Alpha fresh out the pit lane, and Frey Pepper, in fact, has got the move done. Ran the outside through turn 4, gets the move done. Frey Pepper is through. We saw it with Pariah last week, and it's now Frey Pepper through, and he's up into 15th. And he's on warmer tyres than Alpha, but I'm very surprised that Alpha did not try and pull off that move as the leaders are in.
Yeah, and I have to say Magnus has gained some time to the leaders. Well, to the leader, actually. So, oh no, he lost it. Okay, never mind.
Sygate now down the inside line. Can he try and get the move done? He has got the move done on Damon. This is for 2nd position out on track. Alpha has crashed out of the race. That could deploy a safety car possibly out on track. It's a VSC. What is it with VSCs around this track? We had 4 last night, and now we've had 2 tonight. Black Phoenix will lead, Sygate 2nd, Damon in 3rd.
And I don't understand this. Magnus was 1 second sort of ahead of Khan. He lost it on the final corner. I mean, almost losing the car into the wall. And he's still ahead of Khan. So quite surprised with that one. I don't know if he had front wing damage, the Racing Point, and he had to change it. I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think, well, Khan is 3.8 seconds behind him. He might have lost out, to be honest, because of this VSC. Because the VSC was deployed, Magnus was well out ahead, as that Black Phoenix has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, and that is an absolute disaster. I think there was other penalties that got picked up. Yeah, Neymar has got a drive-through as well in 10th position, but Black Phoenix leading from Sygate in 2nd, Damon in 3rd as King is now through on Khan, ran the outside through turn 10, gets the move done, or down the inside I should say, through turn 10, gets the move done, and Neymar right on the back of Khan.
Yeah, and also ahead, Braywich now blocking the Williams. It's going to be interesting to see how hard drivers, you know, try to overtake the mediums. As we can see, Maximus retires. That could be a safety car.
That's off track. That's coming through turn 9. I don't think there'll be a safety car or a VSE deployment. However, what we can say is Damon is through. Ran the outside through turn 1. Gets the move done on side gate for the race lead. So Damon is through with a 3-second time penalty. He is through and he's into the lead of the race. The car has gone. That was off track, as I said. So no moves done. We've got Con and Neymar fighting Hammer and Tongs coming through turn 2 and 3. And Neymar again cuts somebody up. Con on the inside line this time. And Neymar just needs to learn how to drive on a one-to-one basis, I think, if I've got to be honest. Because again, although Khan is just really fresh out the pit lane on a set of hards, he's cut him up again through turn 3. It's wheel-to-wheel contact. They say rubbing is racing, but it's just beginning to overstretch the line, possibly.
As a Spanish driver, you know, that is making his debut in F1 this season would say, you always have to leave some space. So, yeah.
That's the worst.
All the time you have to listen.
I can't even find the words for what you've just done there. Impersonation. That's the worst impersonation I think I've ever heard.
I mean, I could do it, but I don't know. I don't want people to laugh from my Spanish accent, you know.
People might laugh anyways, to be honest. You never know. Neymar's into the pit lane, actually, so Neymar in to serve that drive-through penalty. He got the move done on Khan, but what effect, though? Because Khan now back through and he's up into 8th, and now Neymar's going to drop down, maybe even behind the likes of Zam and Frey Pepper out on track. But Traxi now on the back of Braywich. Can Traxi try and get the move done? He's on a set of hard compounded tyres, but look at Magnus. Magnus is absolutely flying out on track. It is now halving the gap down to Traxi, and Traxi now in a bit of a train essentially with Braywich just in front, bit of dirty air, and Traxi trying to get through.
Since he came out of the pits, he has been stuck behind the Renault. I was actually telling that he was quite close, but he was not able to overtake him. And I was saying also that now it's going to be interesting to see how hard drivers overtake the medium runners. And this is a perfect opportunity for Magnus, you know, to come back, save some ERS, and just do the overtake whenever it's needed.
I think Magnus, honestly, Braywich has got a hold Traxi up enough for Magnus to try and have a run at both of them down the straight in towards turn 1. It's been done before, but one thing is to try and catch a driver around this track, another thing is to overtake. We've seen plenty of them so far. We're just over 1/3 through distance as Damon leads onto lap 13 from Sidegate 2nd, Atlas Copo 3rd, Braywich in 4th. Traxi's going to try and have a look on the back of Braywich, and I think he's going to be close enough. Look at the closing speed of Traxi. Look at this. He's going to get the move down in towards turn 1. Down the inside he goes. Braywich didn't fight that at all. He knew what was coming, and Traxi is through, and he's up into 4th position. Never doubt somebody that comes from that far back to try and get a move done.
And now, I mean, Magnus has to find a way, you know, to get that Renault out of the way as soon as possible. Because if not, I mean, his race, you could say it's compromised as he dives it. Oof. That's more heart attack there.
Playing fire with fire, I think, and look who's now arrived on the scene. King, look at the speed he's got. He's on a set of mediums, albeit, but goodness me, he's absolutely minced into this advantage out on track as he gets caught wide coming through turn 9. That might be a warning he's just picked up, but now King is in a hurry, and he's got 2 guys to pass, Braywich and Magnus, and possibly Traxi for the net race lead.
Yeah, definitely Magnus seems like now he has a better run on Braywich, so I think he's going to overtake him on the straight if he's able just to coordinate the run on the last corner. But definitely King has also to overtake these guys because he's on a complete different strategy, and if he wants to make that work, he has to, you know, keep his pace on going, and for that he needs to overtake the hard runners.
Braywich is not close enough onto the back of... Magnus is not close enough onto the back of Braywich.
Hold on.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, and he's left through King as well. King's gone around the outside of Braywich. I think he tried to look. King has got an illegal overtake. King's got an illegal overtake here. And Braywich, because he was offline, he was in the pit lane when he let him through, and now King's going to try and fight him back down the inside line. There was a little bit of unsurety there, and now King has put him off track. I think he locked up, to be honest, there, but Braywich has been set into the gravel, and that's unfortunate for King. That illegal overtake has really set him back. Braywich, of course, got the move back done. King is through. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if there was a lock-up, but anyways, he's up into 6th.
Can I try again to impersonate, please?
You can try.
Nah, I'm gonna just save it for another moment when it's actually more fitting. But yeah, quite interesting to see right now that the two guys, well, fighting for the virtual lead is actually Psychic and Damon. They've been for 13 laps out. Yeah, and as I talk, yeah,
both in.
They had to pit. Yeah.
Atlas Coppola stays out.
One more lap. Yeah, quite interesting. I mean, I don't know how long those mediums can run. Probably 15 laps, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be the limit there.
It's about 15 or 16. We saw it in Division 2 last night. It's about 15 or 16. We see Damon with a 5-second penalty, by the way. He served that up into the pit lane. That will get it onto the back of the time, possibly at the end of the race. So Damon is out of the pit lane. Now, what will be in 12th position, because Neymar's going to come past him down in towards turn 1, and Neymar's not close enough to the back of Cygate. And Neymar really getting set back as well with that drive-through penalty that he served. He's now down in 11th. But this is really the quietest point of the race. Is now Ryan tries to hunt down the back of Khan for 5th position. Atlas Coppola leading Traxi 2nd, Magnus in 3rd. 1st and 3rd once again for the Ferraris. It's like last week all over again.
Well, yeah, but the main difference here is that, well, actually, this is not that bad for Atlas Coppola, because probably he's going to just do a one-stop. He's going to go hard. The problem is drivers like Ryan, King, you know, they're going to go on a softer tire. So I think it's going to be a good ending to this race.
It's going to be fascinating, I think, to see how this race is going to unfold. It is Atlas Coppola leading from Traxi and then Magnus. And Atlas Coppola into the pit lane from the lead of the race. And where is he going to rejoin now? I think he's going to rejoin around Neymar, Vapor, Damon sort of area, possibly coming out of the pit lane. Puts on a set of hard compound tires. He is fresher than the guys around him. 17 laps on a set of hards is very, very manageable indeed.
Oh, Ryan.
Is Atlas Coppola, Ryan right on the back of Khan, down in towards someone. Tried to go for the move, I think, there. But Atlas Coppola is going to be just in front of Pariah in the end. Pariah is obviously a lap down, but Atlas Coppola now through and he's jumping to 9th. Cygate trying to go over on the outside of Neymar. Neymar on the inside line. And Cygate, I think, just backed out of that. He knows what Neymar is like, and Neymar's doing a bit of
Exactly. Yes, what I was thinking. I mean, he backed out, he knew the risks, and he probably thought, yeah, I don't want to get in there. Like, he was probably traumatized for what he has seen previously.
What he doesn't want to get, he doesn't want to ruin his own race, I think, Cygate. Exactly. He's on a set of hards, and obviously Neymar in front of him is on a set of mediums,
quick,
and he's got a penalty as well, so he may as well not fight at this point in the race. Looking at Division 5, by the way, there's a safety car, and there's already 4 out the race. We've only got 2 out the race here, with the same amount of drivers, and it is Traxi leading the way. But I've got to be honest, Magnus, 1.3 seconds. The last time I looked, it was 2.1. So Magnus is eating into that advantage for the lead.
Well, I don't know if my maths are horrible, because I had a gap to the leader when Atlas was in front. But for me, it seems like
Ryan.
it was...
Ryan, sorry, on Khan, down the outside line, comes down the outside line and through, down and towards turn 1, gets the move done, he's up into 4th.
Yeah, good pass. I mean, easy pass with the DRS, just having the overtake done before the corner. So, yeah, easy overtake, and P4 he is now.
He is into P4, and on a set of 10 lap all mediums, you'll be seeing him coming into the pit lane very soon indeed to go on and switch on to another set of medium compound tyres, because that can be done, of course, a 2-stop. But it is that man there, Traxi, out in front. The Austrian is doing a fantastic job. From Magnus there in 2nd. King is in 3rd as Braywich has been overtaken by Frey Pepper. Down the inside. Oh, Frey Pepper spun! Frey Pepper spun through turn 1. He's lost an entirety of his front wing nearly. He's got end plate damage on the left-hand side. And Frey Pepper, from a really good drive last time out with Pariah, how a week can change. And he's round through turn 3. I think he just got the move done as well on Braywich, and now Braywich is through and he's up into 15th and has gone sky clear as there's a yellow flag through sector 2, and that is Pariah getting out of the way.
Definitely Spain is going more like pain for Frey Pepper. Yeah.
Did he spun again, I think? Has he spun again? Yeah, he's...
No, he didn't. No, I mean, he has had a bad exit, but it was not a spun.
He's just had through Lukey. May as well try and fight for positions. I mean, he's a lap ahead of Pariah, pretty much. So what he's got to do, Frey Pepper, get that to the pit lane, put on a set of medium compound tyres, and we'll see how he goes, as Black Phoenix now through on Zam, who is into the pit lane on 15 lap all mediums as he comes in. Khan is still on the back as well of Ryan for 4th and 5th, but it is still Traxi leading, Magnus in 2nd. That gap out in front, though, was really stabilised.
Yeah, and the main problem I see here is that although Magnus seems like he could have just a little bit more of pace, Traxi has infinite more ERS. I mean, he has more than double the ERS. So as long as Traxi is clever enough, he's gonna be, you know, that second ahead that it's not gonna allow Magnus to be on the ERS range.
Yeah, Magnus is still there. He's 1.5 seconds off, but Traxi just looks a bit more consistent throughout this lap around here in Spain, and that's why Magnus has ran massively wide. He ran into the gravel coming out the final corner, and now he is now on the back foot because he just picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Plenty of penalties, I have to say. I mean, we can see 10 drivers with penalties. That was a really fast guess, but yeah, I think it's 10, although I would have to count. And right now, I mean, probably most of the positions could be decided by penalties.
Well, you can count. I can confirm it is 10 drivers that have got penalties, which I'm very glad to report. Just for the avoidance of doubt for anyone there in the comments section, it is Khan is still trying to chase down Ryan. Sygate is close enough on Neymar, but it almost looks like Neymar is just too quick at this point for Sygate. But Sygate is just holding something back, I feel, for later on in the race. It is Traxi who leads, Mac the second, King third, Ryan fourth, Khan in fifth. Hopefully we'll get driver interviews as well out of this. Jippy Storm I've been quite impressed with, although he'll be further down the field later on. He's down there in 7th position currently. He just ran wide through turn 9. But I've got to say, he is doing a fantastic job in 7th, and he's been one of the guys that's been quite unnoticed towards the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I think it's going to be interesting in the end of the race, because right now you can have a really good race, but with the... Yeah, we can see the first one to pit for Hart. It's Ryan. No, not for Hart, for another set of mediums. My bad, sorry. I mean, I'm already... my brain is already going, you know, crazy, but... so now I think it's going to be an interesting part of the race, because we're going to see those runners, you know, trying to get the best out of their new mediums, and then the hard runners trying to defend their positions like if their life were on it.
Well, Ryan's going to come out behind Black Phoenix, who's on a set of hards, as well as Damon, who's on a set of hards as well. And they're quite close, running down in towards turn 1. And Ryan has... I thought he had a penalty, but he has got a 3-second penalty. Now, I don't know why I thought he served it there out of the pit lane, but there we are. Black Phoenix in 12th, Damon there in 11th, and we're now right on board with the Red Bull, with the Lebanese man as he comes down in towards turn 5, and now is on the back of the German in front, Damon, who ripped apart the field in Division 5 in the pre-season race last season, which I covered. But now Black Phoenix on the back of Damon, and he's trying to look and hunt him down, but both of them are going to be under threat as well from Ryan and behind.
Yeah, and I have to feel really bad for Black Phoenix, because without that rise through, he could be perfectly fighting for a podium today.
He could be. King is into the pit lane as well. That was from third on the grid. Jippy Storm into the pit lane, and these guys are all going under a set of medium compound tyres, so they're going to last it easily towards the end of the race. And King, I think, is going to come out right in the mix here with Neymar and Sygate, and he does not want to get involved in this battle. I think it is going to be King just out on top, coming out the pit lane. And yeah, oh, and actually he cuts the white line there, coming across the pit lane. That might be a penalty going his way, possibly for King. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that here in TTML, but he got ahead, he put one wheel at least over on that white line, and he could be under threat possibly from the stewards because of that.
Well, BAR check-in already. Well, in case he does get a penalty, I mean, probably in the rules, you know, there has to be something that indicates that you can get a penalty for crossing the white line, although it's common sense that you should never cross a white line at the exit of the pit lane. Doesn't matter in what context. Obviously, if you have to avoid a crash or whatever, but in that case, I think it was a distraction from King there.
Might be distraction from King, but he did cross the white line, and VAR have checked, and it could be a 5-second penalty coming his way towards the end of this race. Of course, that'll be added on in the steward's room if needs be. That has been caught on stream, so I'm sure if somebody might report that, probably be Neymar, as he's picked up a 3-second time, but it doesn't matter now. VAR have awarded that for him as he comes out of turn 15.
Yeah, I mean, you can see he had a really bad run from there, and yeah, I think...
Here comes Ryan. Somebody cut in. Here comes Ryan on the back of Damon.
Oh, yeah.
Down the inside. I think he's going to get him done. And Haas is through on the Mercedes down in towards turn 1. Loving Damon's helmet, by the way. The blue 64 car there, of course, in the Mercedes. But Ryan through, and he's up into 11 and disposes of Damon because of that mistake very easily indeed.
By the way, if we still had hopes on Magnus getting the win, maybe I'm just a little bit asleep, but I think he got the penalty in the last lap or so, because as far as I remember, he didn't have the penalty, or am I mistaken?
No, he picked it up coming out of final corner a few laps ago. He went into the gravel, he briefly ran into the gravel and went wide out the final corner, and that's where he picked up his 3-second time penalty, because I watched him, one ball with Traxi at the time.
I mean, he's on the edge of getting into DRS range, but bad news for him, Traxi does not even have a single warning, so
yeah,
gonna be difficult for him to win this race.
King on the back as well of our championship leader Atlas Copo, and Atlas Copo hoping to try and get past Mac Maverick on all of this as well, as now King launches it down as Neymar is into the pit lane to put on probably a set of mediums, I would imagine, rather than a set of softs at this point. King now down in towards turn 1, and it's not going to get the move done unless he gets the switch back coming through turn 2 and then through turn 3, and King is going to try this all the way around the outside. That is really impressive from King. What an absolute sensational move that is from King. If there's any point in thinking of that, VAR need not check that. King is through with an absolute sensational move. I know he's on a fresh set of tyres, but come on! Ran the outside of turn 3, King is through, our Australian winner is up into 6th. That is the best move and the cleanest move I've seen all season.
I mean, doesn't matter that he's on a softer tyre, but you have to really have the guts to try to move in there.
Mac Maverick realises him! Mac Maverick has realised him, and he's now side by side, and he's got the move done! He gets the move done. It was a bit forceful, but he was entitled to come from that far back. I think Mac Maverick again gave him the chance, and King is through, and he's up into 5th.
I wouldn't say Mac Maverick gave him the chance as he lost the back end.
Mac Maverick has spun, coming out of turn 15. I think he's recovered the car. I think he's spun in the wrong way. And a safety car. A safety car has been deployed, and that must be the slowest crash that I've never seen, because I'm looking at the camera angle coming out the final corner. I didn't see that at all. Mac Maverick is out, and King has left the session as well. Bit of a disconnect there from King, I think. But what does this do now to the field? Traxi coming through turn 7 and 8. Are these guys going to go onto a set of softs, or do they stick at it, go on a set of hards? King, surely, is going to be the one to watch on a set of mediums, because they will get to the end easily.
Do you want to know what's going to happen now?
Everyone's going to come into the pit lane and we're going to have an absolute mad race.
I mean, right now it's unpredictable. Like, Traxi was having, you know, the race of his life, you know, just sitting down in P1, controlling the race. As we can see another driver. Yeah, but that was actually Mac Maverick who crashed out. But yeah, right now it's interesting to see. Probably Traxi, I mean, the hard runners will have to pit, because I don't think they're going to stick out.
Oh yeah, they will have to pit. They will have to pit, and now Traxi is in. Magnus is in. Oh my god, Traxi nearly crashed into the pit lane. There, nearly lost the left side end plate. Now into the pit lane comes Khan. Florian will come into the pit lane as well. Khan's got no penalties either compared to Traxi, so he's going to be one of the ones to watch. Magnus is on the side of softs, and King is staying out, which I think is the best strategy, because it puts him now in the lead of the race.
But he hasn't made the decision. So let's hope the AI has made the best decision for him. Although, yeah, soft against mediums, it's going to be interesting to see if he holds on. But it's not going to be an easy task.
It's not going to be an easy task. Of course, he is in AI mode.
Oh, and Magnus.
This... Magnus?
I don't know if you reported it, but he's ahead.
He's jumped Traxi, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance. I mean, if he's able to overtake King as soon as possible, he can pull away and maybe create that 3-second gap he needs.
But I'll tell you now, this is the worst case scenario, because if King's AI does not come in, he's going to be the virtual Burton Islander. Everyone is going to have to stay behind, And this is going to be the most chaotic. He's back, luckily, in the nick of time. Has he taken possession of his own car? I think he might have. But King now is in the lead of the race. And thank goodness, yeah, you can tell he is back now. He's weaving all about the track. That is definitely not his AI. And he's wanted to get on with things, King, with the safety car being deployed. But one thing is, for certain, he was desyncing before he left. So that might just get put to the stewards as a bit of a disconnection. But what now matters is King leading the way, Magnus in second, Traxi with fresh tyres, and no penalties in behind in third, Khan with no penalties in fourth. It's now, I think, a wide open race.
Definitely. I mean, Khan definitely has, you know, the chance he was waiting all the race, because since the beginning, you know, he has been on a considerable gap to Traxi, and right now he's in the same conditions. He's just behind him. Both have do not have penalties, so they're going to be fighting for track position. And meanwhile, behind we have Ryan, you know, who will try to hold on the mediums, and then we have several soft runners. And I have to say, I feel really happy for Black Phoenix, because he's gonna have sort of a chance, you know, to redeem himself after that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, it is going to be absolutely, honestly fascinating to see how this race is going to unfold. And luckily, with King back in the session, I can report he is going to be the virtual, well, he is now going to be the virtual Burt Marlander out on track. And it's going to be really, really intriguing to see how this gets on. Just having a look, by the way, Division 5, running through the penalties currently is James Boyle. And I can't see who's still in the race. Robin leads in Victor second, Mays in third, and they are 2 laps behind us. So, we're under the safety car period here. Go and check Division 5 out if you don't want a safety car. However, if you do want a safety car and you do want to get back racing, which I think will be next lap around, because Zam, Lukey and Frey Pepper are not on the back of the safety car just yet, but we'll see. Yeah, they could rejoin on and the safety car could come in. We'll see it coming down in towards turn 10. Is the safety car going to come in this time? No. No.
Neymar, you know, the Neymar penalty baited me. I thought it was the safety car message, you know, going in this lap, but
it could come here about turn 12. It normally comes either between turn 10 to turn 12.
Nah.
But I think with Frey Pepper, Frey Pepper's not on the back. So I don't think... Oh, it is safety car in this lap. So it is safety car in this lap. And literally what I just said has just came true. So King now the virtual... King now the virtual Burt Marlander out on track. And then Magnus and Traxi, second and third, are hoping to be the ones that are going to try and counteract this. King has got to get a really good restart here. When is he going to go? Ooh. Oh, as Traxi, I think, has gone into the back of Magnus. Just in behind, that might be a 5-second penalty. Coming his way, and it's gone the other way, in fact. Magnus has got a penalty, and King has absolutely slept Magnus off the start. And now Traxi, now Khan, now Ryan are going to try and make it 3, 2 and a 1.
Jesus Christ.
In the bed, certainly. As now Florian tries to go around the outside of him in towards turn 1. Traxi down the inside. No contact from anyone. And look at Ryan. Ryan has got 2 for 1, surely. Down the inside, coming through turn 3. He's got Florian, and he's got Khan as well. That is absolutely sensational on a set of mediums. Yeah, Ryan is through, and he's up into 4th position. That is the best restart from Ryan I think I've ever seen. And now Sygate and Atlas Copra are fighting in the background. We come down in towards turn 5, and Sygate through, and he's up into 7th.
I mean, insane restart. As we can see, yellow flags in sector 2. Yeah, Bray, which is round. And right now, I mean, this is a perfect chance for Traxi to win the race, because he has now, you know, a car between him and Khan, so he has to take advantage of this.
That was Zam running out wide, coming through turn 13, and Magnus
into the grass.
Magnus into the grass. Has he got any damage? Let's try and pick up on board with them. No damage at all. That was just a spin, very similar to what we saw with Tionis, I think, last night, round about the same lap as well. But Magnus down into 7, and there goes his possible top 3 chance.
Yeah, that's a Ferrari great race over, because right now they are 7 and 8, and with Magnus with several penalties, although the 5-second will probably get removed.
Frey Pepper on the back of Lukey, running down in towards turn 1 as well. Watching on board with Black Phoenix trying to catch Atlas Copel, but Frey Pepper ran the outside on Lukey. doesn't cut him short. Brilliant move by Frey Pepper, and he's still got damage as well with that move, and so has Lukey. So both of them have got damage, but now he's doing it up into 14th. Now Magnus going side by side with Cygate coming through turn 4. Can he get the move done then on the inside and towards turn 5? He's on the outside line now. Cygate much later on the brakes, forced him out wide, forced him on the marbles, and that is a good defensive move there by Cygate. He just put Magnus out on the marbles. He's going to try and go down the inside, but there's no way he's getting through there. Cygate, great defensive driving. He's through and he's up into 6th still.
Yeah, but I think he's not gonna give up. We can see he's all over the AlphaTauri. I think he's gonna try and dive it. He knows he has more pace as he tries now to do the switch back. As we can see behind Black Phoenix and Vapor Damon, and the Red Bull is the one who wins the battle, but it's not over yet. The Merc tries to hang on, but it was impossible as he has no space left there.
I thought you were going to say Mucades there, to be honest. You were like on the half, like tip of your tongue, you were going to say it. But look at the gap that King has pulled out on Traxi. 1.3 seconds. Traxi is in a great scenario here for second. 1.4 seconds. Now DRS has been enabled. Ryan down in towards, in third position, down in towards Sermon. Khan in 4th, Florin in 5th. Cygate 6th. Magnus 7th. Atlas Cope away to Black Phoenix 9th. Damon, then Jibby Storm, then Neymar, Zam, Frey Pepper, Lukey, Braywitch and Pariah, who's still going round out on track, bless him. He's still in 17th position, but points are points at the end of the day. Black Phoenix on the back of Atlas Copel for 8th.
And we can see ahead as well. I mean, there are plenty of fights right now in the final couple of laps. So we can see the Ferrari from Magnus is not over yet with Cygate. He's been 2 laps behind him trying to make the move, but we can see it's quite difficult. But now with DRS, let's hope if he can have him. As we can see, he has a really good run from that exit there, and he dives down the inside. And really good move there from the Ferrari. But watch out, because the AlphaTauri is not done yet, and he holds it, and they make contact, but really clean, well, quite clean, I could say. And
Racing is Robin.
Yeah, definitely. And Magnus will have to keep trying if he wants to gain that position.
Atlas Copo as well, just losing time, and look at the train behind him. In fact, Black Phoenix, Damon, Jibby Storm, Neymar, Zam, all chomping at the bit to try and get a move done, but Magnus is going to try and get the move done now. On the back of Cygate, Khan as well on Ryan, down in the foreground of shot, but Magnus is through and he's up into 6th position, and Black Phoenix not getting through on Atlas Copo, and Neymar was trying to go around the outside there on Jibby Storm as well. He lost 0.2 of a second, and Black Phoenix now pressurising Atlas Copo, but they in turn are pressurising Cygate just in front of them with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Pardon me, I couldn't keep that in at all. Neymar down the inside line of Jibby Storm, trying to get the move done. We'll quickly move on from that. Jibby Storm in 11th, Neymar 12th. Goodness me, that's the first time I think I've ever done it in a month. Well, months.
Don't worry, I mean, we're humans, right? So we'll have those habits, I would say. And right now, Khan, it's in the position, I mean, he doesn't really, he's not in the need to make the move on Ryan, since he's not going to gain anything else. But I think every driver wants to gain the position on track and not by penalty. So, yeah, definitely, I think he's going to try it.
He is going to try it, and he may as well, to be honest, because I think as a driver, the instinct is to try and go for the move for 3rd position, to be honest. And is he going to close up enough? Traxy's trying to close up enough on King. King has got every response, though, to Traxy at this stage. Connor's not going to be close enough down in towards turn 1. Somebody that might be, though, is either Damon or Black Phoenix on each other as they come down in towards turn 1, as Braywitch has got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that was through the final corner. He's retired coming into pit lane. So Braywitch is retired into the pit lane. He comes, and he's now the 4th retirement as Neymar. Now on the inside of Jibby Storm, tries to get the move done. Damon trying to go down the inside as well of Black Phoenix, but Neymar is through, forces Jibby Storm out on the marbles, cuts across. But arguably, I think that's a clean move. And yet Zam trying to go around the outside as well on Jibby Storm. Jibby Storm forces him out wide, but Zam is still side by side. The traction is there on the outside. Can he go around and get the move done? Around the outside through turn 7. Jibby Storm, to be honest, just shut the door on him. Robin is racing at the end of the day, and Jibby Storm still in 12th. But I've got to say about Neymar there. Yeah, look at the train in front, but look at Neymar. He now joins onto the back of that train as well. Neymar, arguably, I think, in all of that, got a great move done on Jibby Storm. I think it was rubbing with racing at the end of the day, but he's cleaned it up as we've gone through the race, and now he's on the back of Damon.
Maybe the medium's going better than the soft at this point?
I would say around the same way, to be honest. We've got a penultimate lap to go. King leads the way by 0.4 of a second, running down in towards turns 1 and then 2. Khan as well on the back of Ryan, and Atlas Copo. Yes, side by side with Sidegate now. Trying to go around the outside.
Oh, beautiful.
Sidegate shuts the door.
Down.
Atlas Copo forced out wide, and Atlas Copo gets the move done. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. And now he's doing jump into 7th, and Sidegate... Yeah, Sidegate ran out wide, and Black Phoenix now hunting him down, but Damon now in 10th position, Neymar on 11, Jibby Storm, Zam is now joined onto the back of this crew as well. This is all the way down pretty much from Atlas Copo downwards as Black Phoenix goes around the outside of Sidegate, runs out wide, and now Damon is going to go down the inside line, and Damon's throwing it up into 9. Chuli gets the move done.
I thought he was going to try and keep the car there, but yeah, it was kind of impossible. He didn't have the gap there. Right now, probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if Neymar tries the dive.
You saw it. From an absolute mile back, didn't you, Neymar? Down the inside line, doesn't get the move done, and it's Black Phoenix still hanging on for 10th, and Neymar was just shut out wide, and he shuts Jibby Storm off, and to be honest, I think Jibby Storm tried to go for the move. He didn't realise that Neymar was coming across, and he came across on Zam, and Jibby Storm down in 12, has spun Zam, and Zam now down to 14th. Magnus. Disappointing. Magnus now on the back of Florian. Final lap.
No ERS left.
He's still got the move done. He is. Oh my god, that's a very late braking move. Ferrari against Mercedes, to be honest, that was too bold. Yeah, I think Magnus backed off that, but honestly, Florian stays in 5th position, but it is King who is there leading out in front. Half a lap to go here in Spain. I wouldn't say it's been an instant classic, but it's still been a better race than Bahrain, that's for sure, as now King comes around the final couple of corners, through the middle sector, through turn 9 for the final time. Traxy chasing Black Phoenix and Neymar. Oh, there's contact. David Damon has spun, I think, coming out of turn 9. I'm not sure if he was caught up in that incident with Black Phoenix. Should be Storm as well. Now down into 10th, but King now coming through the middle sector. We'll try and focus on as much as possible as we can. Neymar 10th, Jibby Storm 11th. Side by side.
Is he going to keep it around the outside? Really? Oh, they're still side by side, and the McLaren locks up, and they're going to still be side by side through turn.
King around the final corner to win. King around the final corner to win out on track. But Traxy, look at how many penalties King has got. Ryan across the line. He will get second for now. Khan gets second. Who's going to get third? I think it's Ryan in the end. No, Atlas Cup, I thought he got third, but he doesn't. He goes up to full, so I get his 5th. Looking at that, and there's been contact, I think, further down the field, possibly.
Yeah, Storm and Neymar.
Neymar and Jibby Storm. Yeah. Jibby Storm jumps Neymar. Neymar down into 13th. Disappointing from him. Zam with no penalties in 11th. Trey Pepper, Neymar. Damon just waiting on Lukey now to come across the line to finish in 15th.
Woo!
Woo! That's it.
What a race.
Oh my god, what a race. Sidegate gets driver of the day. Arguably, I think he will get driver of the day by the in-game fans. Not by us, possibly, but great race nonetheless here in Spain. We have managed to get through the 33 laps entirely, and it is that man doing the Egyptian at the top end of the podium. Yeah, bit of Sebastian Vettel going on there, but the Williams man takes it to the top step of the podium, and looking in behind, very unlucky from Khan, and arguably very unlucky from King, who dropped down, I think, out of the top 3.
Yeah, no surprise, we haven't guessed a single position in the podium. I mean, we got all wrong, so once again, yeah, showing our abilities. Never
predict the top 3. That's all I'm saying. Well, Traxy, second up to first. I'll take that. I will take that. At least I got one of them right. In the wrong position, but still. Traxy wins out on track. Gets the fastest lap of the race as well. So he's got 31 points actually going his way. Khan in second with Ryan in third. Atlas Copo in fourth. Sidegate fifth. King in sixth. Florian seventh. Magnus in eighth. Then Black Phoenix in ninth. Jibby Storm running off the top 10. Beating Zam by 7/10 of a second in the end. Zam in 11th. Frey Pepper in 12th. Neymar 13th. And Damon, Lukey, Pariah, who did finish in 16th. Brewich didn't. He's classified in the results though, but he will not get any points because he didn't finish. McMavick, Maximus and Alpha all out of the race at the various stages through, but Traxy has won. Khan is second and Ryan finishes in third. Shall we try desperately to get at least one of them in?
I'm on that right now.
Oh,
or at least trying to.
trying to.
It's can. Wait, how is it? How can dash? What's their dash and can name?
Let me tell you. I'm just loading back into the lobby. No, Con, capital N, MGN.
MGN. Oh, I thought it was an H.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And my goodness, what a race we've just been treated to there. But if you are not sick of the action we've got here in League Racing TV, TTML F2 is also up on Sunday night, and that is Pepsi Freak and TFI Buck taking you through that one, of course, and it is going to be fascinating to see how the races are going to unfold here within Division 4 moving forward as well. We'll see if anybody else is going to join to the party. We notice that Khan has just joined in. Hopefully we're able to get interviews from all three. That would be brilliant, but I know at least one of them might not join. But we will come on to the man that has finished in P2 with no penalties. Khan, really good race from you out on track. Talk us through it. Honestly, you drove really well in that race, and from our perspective, you might get driver of the day possibly as well. But just talk us through that safety car towards the end of the race, because that must have done you in a little bit of confidence. Did you ever feel that you could make your way up, certainly into the top three? It is extra points for you. And Paco, have we got any question for our resident Dutchman?
I mean, I'm trying to seek for the track next round, but
Baku.
I'm a bit lost. Yeah, Baku. Thank you very much, James. I was gonna ask you if you feel confident around Baku, if you think you could repeat sort of the race you've done today. Well, hopefully you'll do well.
All I'm going to say from my perspective is, don't try and go around the outside of the castle section like I used to back in my league racing days. Well, I tried it, and yeah, let's just say it didn't end well. And it was with our graphics man as well. Even worse. Oh. Definitely are. Definitely are. Well, go and let you enjoy your evening, Con. Well done. And we've got another man that has joined us in the commentary box here. The man that finished in P3, Ryan. And Ryan, it must be a shock for you to finish in P3.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that. Maybe thought I could get maybe fifth or something like that, but top three wasn't expected.
Talk us through that race though from your perspective, because we had several VSCs in a safety car. Did that impact on you going forward?
I think the safety car helped me out because a lot of people in front of me pitted, and I thought the mediums would be fine with the condition they were in to go to the end and battle the guys on the softs. So the safety car probably helped me out more than anything.
Yeah, I think safety car really did help you out in terms. And then P3 obviously just caps it off. I think a really good race from you, Paco. Do we have any questions from?
Well, basically the same one I asked Can, and it's basically what are your expectations towards Baku?
I hate Baku. It's just, I'm not a fan of the track. I have to practice it quite a lot, but it's going to be one. I think the safety car is going to play a massive impact, and I can't predict where I'm going to finish or anything like that. It's going to be chaos.
Well, from our side, let's hope there's not that much chaos, but at least that there is a good show on track. So definitely, I hope you good luck for the next race. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just from my perspective as well, well done on the result tonight, and going forward into Baku, I'm sure you will do great. Practice the track, don't go around the outside of the castle section, and you'll be fine. That's the words I'm going to give everyone now, I think.
Just a quick question for you guys. Did you like my overtake after the safety car?
Yes. Very, very impressive.
Yes, it was quite impressive, I must admit. And taking into account that you were on mediums, I have to say that was even more impressive. So yeah, congratulations on that move, mate.
I was panicking a bit as I saw there was about 4 cars about to go to turn 1.
I almost had a heart attack, I must admit.
Oh, but that is the end, I think, from us here tonight. Thank you to Khan, thank you to Ryan, of course, for the interviews. Much appreciated, as always. Paco, I will come to you. Who is voted your driver of the day? Don't go for anyone in the party if you don't want to, by the way.
I feel the pressure, you know. I feel that if I don't say any of those, you know, someone will come to my house and maybe, I don't know, but no, but I don't know. Like, both of them had a good drive. There were also Atlas Coppo outside the top 3 that also did a good recovery drive. So I cannot really choose, but if I have to choose one, definitely I would say Ryan, because he was on the mediums, and he decided to stick on the mediums, and despite being on a slower tire, he was able to pull out that move. He was able to stick on that position, and yeah, for me it was an impressive drive from him.
Do you know what? Because he's in the party, I'll go with Ryan as well. Not because that he's just in the party. It's because... Yeah, poor Khan, bless him. We're not giving him any love whatsoever. We'll give them both drive of the days, I think. There we are. Even... Well, there is a driver of the day poll as well going to be within the Discord, so you can vote for your own driver of the day within Discord if you have access, of course, to the Division 5 chat. That is me and Paco done for the evening. Please stay safe out there in this crazy time that we are all living in. Next time...
And always leave the space. Always. All the time.
Always leave the space. Don't
all the time.
Don't be like some drivers here in Division 4 where you don't leave any space.
But you get it, right? Leave the space. They're 2 meters.
Leave the space.
You
2
know?
meters. Plenty of social distance in here within Division 4. We're all in our homes. I hope you are as well. And thank you so much for tuning in as always. Sunday night, of course, is the next time we'll be live. TTML F2. It is Pepsi Freak and TFI Buck taking you through that one. And then we go all again on the TTML circus as we go to Baku next week for the majority of the races for Division 1 down to Division 5. But that is it from us. Please stay safe, as I say, in this crazy world we are all living. For myself and Paco, please take care of yourselves. We will see you next week in Baku. Until then,
Adios.
Goodbye. Yeah, adios.
Cheers.